So now our Flashstone smart contract is deployed to the Ethereum blockchain and our arbitrage script is ready. So we can start to run our arbitrage script on our laptop. But there is a problem because ideally we would like to run our script 24/7 to not miss any arbitrage opportunity. But if we run our script from our laptop, that means that we need to keep our laptop open at all times. That's not really ideal. Can we do better? Yes, we can deploy our script on a server and have it running 24/7 without bothering us on our laptop. There are many ways to deploy software. For example, you can use services like AWS, Azure, or DigitalOcean, but these services tend to be more complex and often requires you to maintain and configure your own server. So that's why we're going to use a service that is much more simple called Heroku. With Heroku, you can deploy your apps very easily without configuring or maintaining your own server. Heroku has a free tier, and for running our arbitrage script, it will be enough. So the first step is to create a free account on Heroku. After, you will need to install the Heroku command line. So you go to the documentation of Heroku and you will see different installation instructions depending on your operating system. For Windows, they have an installer. For Ubuntu, you install it with the snap command. And for macOS, you use a package manager called Brew. To get access to the Brew command, you need to install Homebrew. So you go to the website of Homebrew and you follow the installation instruction. And after, you come back here and you copy paste this instruction in your terminal. By the way, this is only for people who are on macOS. And after, you need to install Git. So you can go to the website of Git for the different installation instruction. And if you are on Windows, you can use the Git for Windows project in order to install Git really easily. After, with your code editor, you're going to create a new file at the root of your project. You're going to call this proc file, and this file will be used by Heroku to know which command to start. So first, we're going to give a name to the command we're going to run, and after, we give the exact command. After, we need to go in package.json, and after dependencies, we're gonna add a new key called engines. We specify node 12.x. So this way, Heroku knows which version of Node to use in order to run our script. And after, we need to start a Git repo. So with the Git command line in your terminal, you're going to do git init dot at the root of your project. And after, you go back to your code editor and we're going to create a new file called git ignore. So we need to tell Git to ignore a couple of files. So we need to ignore node modules. That's where we install all the npm package, as well as .env. So we never want to commit secret to a Git repository. That's very dangerous. And after that, you go back to your terminal and you do git status, and you should see this. Make sure that you don't see .env or node modules, because otherwise that means there is a typo in your git ignore file. So now we are going to add everything with git add -A. Okay, so now Git is ready to add everything to its repository. So now you commit everything with this syntax. Okay, let's clear my screen. Now you're going to log into Heroku. So you have to press any key and it's going to open a browser tab. And after, you're going to go here, you just click on login and you enter your credential. So now back in your terminal, you should see this. Next, you create a project on Heroku with Heroku create. Next, you're going to add an environment variable for your secret. So Heroku config set, then the name of the environment variable, and here you copy paste from .env. Oops, I made a mistake. This is not infra key, but this is infra URL. Alright, and next we're gonna do private key. So in my code editor, I copy the private key, paste it here. And now if you do Heroku config, you should see your environment variable. Yeah, so in my case, here I did a mistake. You can just ignore this, but what matters is infra URL and the private key. And if you ever do a mistake, you want to override one of these, you just rerun the command with the correct value. And now the magical moment, in order to deploy your script to Heroku, you're going to do git push Heroku master. So here you can see the output coming from Heroku. So here, for example, we are installing the npm dependencies. Great, it has deployed our script on Heroku. So here you will see a URL, but in our case, we don't have any command that is exposed as a web server. So this is useless. We can just ignore it. Okay, so let me clear my screen. And there is an additional command we need to run. It's Heroku scale web 0 arbitrage 1. I spare you the technical details, but if you are interested, there is a thread on Stack Overflow. I put the link above this video. Let me clear my screen. And if you want to see the logs of our script, you can do Heroku logs --tail. And here you can see our script, which is running. You can also find the same info in the dashboard of Heroku. So first you go to your app, then you click on more. You can go to view logs, and here you can see the logs of our application. And so whenever it finds an arbitrage opportunity, you will also see this in the console output here. And of course, you will see the DAI profit that I sent to the admin address. And of course, you will see that in your admin address, the balance of DAI token has increased because you have received the profits. So congratulations for following up to here. I know that that wasn't necessarily easy for everybody, especially if you are not technical, but you made it, so that's great. So we'll stop here, and in the next section, I'll explain you what are the next steps and how you can keep improving your arbitrage script.